season, but they still haven't made commitments to their biggest stars. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons are all looking for a pay raise this year, but it remains unclear if any of these deals will get done. On the Up and Adams show, Cowboys Hall of Famer Charles Haley shared what he thinks the team should do with Dak specifically. Take a listen.
He kept backloading everything. So now he's screwed. So now his check, his bill came due, and he doesn't have the money to be able to do that. And so what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to find another way around the salary cap or push a lot of the older guys' salary cap way back. And then you don't know whether these guys going to play 1 year or 2 years, and then all of it come due again. So, hey, he gambled a long time, and now time is up.
Kmart is back to join Harry Douglas and myself. I'm going to start with you. Do you agree with Haley's comments?
I do agree. To me, when I think about the Cowboys, the person to blame is Jerry Jones, because let's think about it. Who constructs the roster and sets the culture? Jerry. Who's talking every week after games? The owner, Jerry. If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan or a fan of football and you don't think Dak is any good, who paid him? Jerry. And if you are a Cowboys fan and you're annoyed that this whole offseason you've been waiting for big moves, you've been waiting for free agents, you've been waiting for one of these top guys to get paid and that hasn't happened yet, who's responsible for that? Jerry. Listen, I understand Dak's playoff record. What is it, like 2-5, something like that? Like, I get it. I'm not absolving him from any blame whatsoever. But when I look at the Cowboys, do you believe, Harry, that the Cowboys are all in? Because that's what Jerry said.
Hell
but do you? What did the man say? Hell no. Whose fault? Who told you they're all in, and hasn't really shown that they're all in? Jerry. So it starts at the top. When I look around the league, and I've covered a lot of teams, when you look around the league, and you look at organizations that you constantly wonder why are they not meeting expectation? Why are they falling short of what the roster on paper can do? It starts at the top, and to me, that is Jerry Jones.
Well, number one, shout out to Charles Haley, one of the greatest Dallas Cowboys of all time. That interview that he just did, that was in Detroit at Calvin Johnson Jr.'s golf charity event, in which you had Randy Moss, you had Jalen Rose, you had Justin Reed, you had Ricky Williams, Braylon Edwards. All of us was there supporting Calvin Johnson. So I just wanted to give him some love because I don't think he gets enough love off the field for what he's doing in Detroit, but also in the Atlanta area. What Charles Haley is saying is correct when it comes to from the financial standpoint and why the Cowboys are in this situation right now, not paying their guys to the playoffs. I'm leaning towards the player side of things. The reason why they weren't able to have success the last 3 seasons, you just look at last year alone versus the Green Bay Packers. Before you can blink an eye, they're down 27-0. And it wasn't just Dak Prescott. It wasn't just that offense of CeeDee Lamb, but it was also that defense that was atrocious as well and couldn't stop a nosebleed, but also couldn't stop the run game. And Jordan Love looked like he was a top 5 quarterback versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I will go to the 2022 season when they played against the San Francisco 49ers when Brock Purdy was the quarterback. I think also the players had an opportunity to be their best, and they weren't. I always bring up this play that Dak Prescott had backed up in his own end zone with CeeDee Lamb one-on-one on a go route to the left side of the sidelines, and Dak Prescott underthrew it. Well, if he throws that ball in front of him, he walks in. It's a walk-in touchdown, and now the pressure is on Brock Purdy and San Fran to come from behind versus it being the other way around. And then also 2021, Jimmy Garoppolo, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, couldn't stop the run game, I should say, of the San Francisco 49ers. They got out physical, but also Dak Prescott not understanding situational football, the lack of awareness from him on the football field, trying to get an extra play in, trying to spike it when you just got to, do something differently in that situation, should know all the rules and regulations of what you can and cannot do. So I'm going to put this thing more so on the players, because at the end of the day, they're the one on the football fields that have to make things happen. No matter what Jerry Jones does, at the end of the day, that we've seen this team go 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. This team was in prime positions playoff-wise. The players on the football field at the end of the day did not get it done for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. So when was the last time the Cowboys made a Super Bowl? What year was that?
I was just a young boy.
So was Dak Prescott the quarterback then?
In the 90s. I was a young boy.
Okay. So Dak wasn't the quarterback then?
No.
Okay, so we've talked about the Cowboys not reaching that point for your entire existence, basically, right? Okay.
Yep.
Who hired Mike McCarthy? If you're not a Mike McCarthy believer, who hired him after a little sleepover fun? Jerry Jones, right? If you are thinking, you know what, Cowboys, why'd they get rid of Amari Cooper for a bag of Skittles? Who makes the personnel moves, right? When I look at this team, I just see years and years of the Cowboys make the most money. This is the most expensive franchise we got. This is America's team. And every year we talk about them, it's not just one quarterback. We're looking at decades now of when are the Cowboys going to get back to what we're used to the Cowboys being.
It's not happening.
What? So who's in charge? Who's running the show here?
Who's
spending the money?
Here's my thing.
Who's getting the head coach?
And
Who's getting the court? Like
a Cowboys great, Michael Irvin, has said this on numerous of occasions. When it comes to big-time games and it comes to playoff football for the Dallas Cowboys, the stars have to play like stars. Yeah. That has not been the case for the Dallas Cowboys.
In how many decades?
Last 3, I'm talking about the last, I'm just talking about right now. The last 3 years, that has not been the case for the Dallas Cowboys. At some point, players got to take that responsibility. They got to take that ownership. You got DeMarcus Lawrence saying that he's fatigued and he's tired before a playoff game and going on media outlets and saying that. So at some point, the players have to take that accountability and say, you know what? We haven't been able to get it done collectively from our side of things. See, Jerry Jones, I understand that there's a whole nother set of issues when it comes to Jerry Jones, but we're not talking about a football team that hasn't been able to have success in the regular season.
Yeah.
I know, but so what is happening so drastically and differently when it comes to the playoffs? Are guys not locked in more? Is the stage too big for them? Well, but at the end of the day, I think it falls back on players and being able to do their job.
So you had a run with Jason Garrett. That was like 10 years of 8-8, 9-8, whatever. Who hired him? Who kept him as long?
Jerry Jones.
Okay. Now bring in Mike McCarthy. When you've got other Sean Payton, you got other options, right?
True.
This offseason, when I know we talked a lot about it, is Mike McCarthy, is he coming back? There was a lot of speculation. Is he going to be back? You got all, Belichick's out there. Wouldn't that be great? Well,
and to your point, we all thought he was going to be gone after last season. To your point, I give you credit there.
Oh, finally. It only took almost 2 hours of you to give me credit for
just
something.
a tiny bit. I can't give you too much.
Too much. So that I just think that I agree with you on Dak and the stars have to be stars. But at some point, it's been decades of us waiting for the Cowboys to reclaim that greatness. And regular season isn't going to cut it. Now it's not a matter of, if the Cowboys make the playoffs. No, it's can they make an NFC title game? Can they get to a Super Bowl? And because the one constant I can look at is the guy who owns the team, the guy who told his fans, we are all in. And his fans have been waiting all offseason. What's the big pickup? Bringing Zeke back, a guy that they let go a couple years ago when he still had something left in the tank?
Good?
Yep.
That was a good conversation, guys. Let's leave it there.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you.
Speaking of quarterbacks,
he's pulling a U-turn. He's agreeing to terms with the Broncos.
Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
Throws it down the field. It's caught at the 10, and this game is over. The Cowboys win it.
He is decked. Down he goes. The ball is loose. It's picked up by Dallas and Armstrong. He's got a convoy. He's going to walk in for the touchdown.
They hand to Elliott. He's got it, and then some. Big throw. Just a hands and goes. That is Lamb. Here's one of the end zone.